Well, hello everyone, welcome to Albert Park for the first round of Season 2 in my F1 2012 career. And our objective in the race is to finish first, but let's see what happened on my qualifying lap. As you can see, it's out of 10 positions, so I made it into Q3. My objective is to finish 6th. Let's hope we can meet our objective on our first outing with our new team. Just going around here, the corners haven't been going too bad so far. A little bit wide, not hitting the apex on that one. So maybe lost a couple of tenths here and there. But as you can see, or as you might be able to hear, should I say, that the engine does sound a little bit different. I noticed that when I stepped into the car, it's more of a ee sound. More sort of a moaning bee or something like that. It's quite, you get used to it after a while. The car is pretty good. It wasn't too bad. I mean, the Williams technically should be better because it finished about 2 places higher than us in the constructors last year. Mercedes finished in 6th. So let's see what I can produce out of this car on this qualifying lap. This third sector, always a bad sector for me. You can take it really well, but the AI seem to always catch up in this final sector, especially when I do things like that, going a little bit wide. Sort of didn't brake early enough and going wide here as well. Certainly would have helped our cause, but we're going for the line. Looks like it's going to be a 128.3. Just I thought it would be a 128. But look at that. Look at that. 2 tenths faster than Jenson Button. He's in second. Fernando Alonso starting his title charge again after losing to Lewis Hamilton last time around, and my teammate Michael Schumacher down in 5th, 5 tenths off the pace of me so far. So that's a good start for me. It's looking promising so far. Maybe I can take that first win after all. But after all, this is the first race of the season. I don't expect too much, especially after last year when everyone was faster than me anyway, because it was, I don't know what it is about Australia, they just are faster than me. So I've got a bit of a job keeping them behind me here. As the lights come on, I've got to win this race apparently for my objective, so see how easy that one is. But most of you know what I'm like by now. I sometimes chuck it away at the last minute. So going into the first corner, that went really well. Probably braked a bit early, but Jenson couldn't make the move up the inside, and now I'm off into the lead. A little bit of a tiny gap now. Managed to pull away from him, as he probably was defending from Alonso as well, going around that corner, so that allowed me to build up a little bit of a gap so far. Let's see if I can just keep this thing on the track. The car is heavier now, it's got a bit of fuel in it, so it may take me a couple of laps to figure out my braking zones again, because I didn't do a high fuel run in practice, which I really should do, because then I can get used to the handling of the car and set my braking points up. But I'm not doing too bad so far. Just out in the distance. Let's see if I can maybe create a gap or something before they start speeding up on me, because the AI are always, they're relatively slow in the first lap, let's just say. The gap is 1.4 seconds. Alonso is half a second behind him, and then there's a little bit of a gap, I think, to 4th place. Well, I can see on the map there, at least I think that's what that is. Oh, and there I go, touching the gravel, going around there. I thought I could go around there faster than I actually can, but so I have to do all that work all over again. As Jenson is right behind me now. Probably going to try and make a move out of my slipstream if he can, but I think I used the rest of my curves if I had any. And he's on my left. He's going to make a move now, and it's actually Alonso. Didn't notice he'd actually moved ahead. Oh no, he's made the move stick. Let's see if I can get round. Yeah, no, he's got it covered for now. I just need to try and keep on the back of him now. I know what's going to happen here, but you know. No, don't worry, I'm not going to crash. Yeah, there's little bits and places where I keep touching the edge and then getting crap on the tyres, and then it ends up me losing a few tenths of a second, which means he's actually going to pull away now, especially in the last sector coming up, because that seems to be the AI's favourite sector, and probably my least favourite sector. He's almost a second ahead. I've got to try and keep him within the second to get the DRS on him on the main straight. I think DRS is on the main straight. Can't actually remember. But hey ho, we're in second now. Let's see if we can hold this one on. I mean, there's always the pit stops. There's always a chance of getting past on the pit stops, and that's what happened. I remember now. I lost the back end out, and now he's gone streaming off into the distance. Alonso trying to take second season by force this time around, and he's gunning for that third title. For a minute there, I thought he was, I thought he won last season, but he didn't. It's definitely Hamilton. But anyway, I don't know what to talk about just yet, because I don't know if something happens. I can't remember, because I know what happens if I talk about something, then something's going to go wrong on screen, and when I'm not looking. So I'm going to flick the fuel mixture up to rich, just to see if I can close the gap again, preferably before the pit stops. We just have to see how that goes. So, the world of F1. Still not a lot of news coming out, obviously, but some gossip is flying around, as it usually does. Mainly when people are going to launch their car. Sauber are going to launch in February the 2nd. Toro Rosso and Williams will launch their car on the first day of the pre-season test on the 5th of February, which the test is held in Jerez in Spain. I believe that's in Spain. Not much else to report. Apparently Mark Webber is on probation at Red Bull in 2013. Red Bull Motorsport boss Helmut Marko is not impressed by his obstructiveness towards teammate Vettel in the title deciding Grand Prix. I mean, he can just shove that one up his arse. Helmut Marko's got such a hard on for Vettel, it's unreal. He'll put Webber down as much as he can, just so his little German friend can keep winning. No, I mean, that's a bit harsh, isn't it, really? But yes, that's what I feel like. He's never got any praise for Webber. Never. So, if he doesn't keep his seat after 2013, you never know. You could end up seeing Ricciardo or Verne or even Nico Hulkenberg in the seat for 2014. So that should be interesting to keep an eye on. Yeah, just to pee him off, I think Webber should win next year's championship. That would be good. Yeah, not much else to report really. Adrian Newey, the design chief of Red Bull, saying the campaign for 2012 going down to the last race has affected the team's preparation for 2013. Because the workload on the factory has increased because of having to run two separate programs together. So the one for 2012 and 2013 running together. Button making a move there, didn't quite make it. Obviously running two programs beside each other, trying to design two different cars. Well, putting the updates in one car and trying to design a whole new car. Obviously that's going to put a strain on the factory, which has put them behind over winter. So it's safe to say all the staff at Red Bull haven't had a particularly enjoyable winter break. They've been hard at work, but I'm sure they love it. That's why they do it. That'd be amazing to work in one of those places. Just stick me in the IT places, and I can mess around with the computers. That'd be awesome. But as you can see on the screen, I've completely messed up this race, because Alonso is now 7 seconds up the road. But oh well, looks like that elusive victory is going to get away from me again. Wonder how many races I can go before I actually get a win. But bear in mind, I've only had my first season. They don't always expect you to win in the first season. Oh, look at that. DRS open button just flies past. I nearly went into the back of him there. I wasn't expecting him to brake so early. I just avoided him. Just. As Alonso sets his fastest lap that's 2 seconds faster than mine. So as you can see, he's gonna just whitewash this race completely, unless I let a couple of other people past, which I'm sure I probably will eventually. Button running on full revs, trying to catch up to me. Engineer becoming more and more verbal as he's right behind, as Button's right behind me. It'd be nice if I could do all my laps consistently, then I might actually have had a chance of winning. Because I'm okay. I'm okay at racing. I mean, I'm not too shabby. I mean, most of you know that. I mean, I'm not exactly racing on amateur here. I mean, I'm not good enough for legend, but maybe that's for another time. But, I consider myself relatively decent at the game, so I try and be consistent, but it doesn't always work. Let's just find our pit box. Let's try not to go into the wrong one, but oh wait, you don't have control of that, so it's not going to happen. So that was a pretty tight enough stop. No one got in the way. Didn't have to wait for anyone.
The track is clear.
So we're going to come out in 9th, 10th. Yeah, definitely 9th. I thought there was someone coming up alongside, but there wasn't. So that was a pretty clean pit stop. No one got in the way. No one was at the pit exit. Let's see if I can catch up to these guys. Got Michael Schumacher ahead in the in that pack. It's a bit spread out over there. Still got Button behind me though, which is the most important thing. I don't know quite where Alonso is. He's probably up that road on the back of the pack, waiting for them lot to go into the pits. So I've got Perez in front of me. A car has retired from the race, as I've just noticed, because there's 23 cars. Don't know who that is. We'll find out at the end. Someone probably went out on the first lap and I didn't notice, because I was concentrating on trying to get ahead. But you know, never mind. Let's go wide again.
You have a 4-second gap to the car behind. 4 seconds.
But we got a nice, comfortable 4-second gap to Button, which I suppose he's going to eat into considerably. Considering that McLaren were the Constructors' Champions last season, their car should be better than mine anyway. Yeah, let's see how many races I can go without a win. I'm not going to intentionally lose, but
there are quite a few cars in the pits right now. Watch out for cars exiting the pits.
It'd be nice to get a win as I sort of go into the back of Hamilton there. Or even that, I could do the whole season finishing on the podium, not winning, and do a Kimi Räikkönen or something. Finish third in the title or something. But you never know. Depends how it all goes. The McLarens are a force to be reckoned with as usual. The Red Bulls are a bit off the pace, it seems, as I go into the gravel trap. I sort of didn't really have much grip going around that corner, so I was sort of sliding across the road more than usual. But as I say, the Red Bulls are a bit off the pace, definitely. That's what I've noticed in this first race.
Be aware, we think the car behind is trying to save fuel.
I think they well, unless they improve, I think they might actually be dropping down the order in the constructors' standings. They might actually be turning into a midfield team, like they used to be. I noticed Caterham's coming up, and Force India's going down. Force India looking like they're going to turn into a backmarker team next season if they don't pick up their pace. But that's exactly what happened in 2011 as well. Force India became a backmarker team in my game, and Marussia ended up being a midfield team after 2 seasons. So I don't know what the game has got against Force India, but they certainly don't like being on my PS3, that's for sure. Hope you'll like my montage I put up. That took ages to find that track for that. It seemed to have been well received, so I'm quite pleased about that. As you see, on my perfectionist streak, I'm never happy with my montages. I always look at it and think, oh, I could have done that, I could have done this. But you know, once it's done, it's done. Once it's uploaded, I tend to forget about it. I just leave it up there because I've watched it so many times, over and over again, just to see what bits I could change. And obviously, because I'm doing these montages through replay footage from these races, then I sort of have a limited selection of clips. I'm not going to be using ones where I've set up a crash on purpose, like I've seen most of these silly montages out there who are having compilations of crashes, which is fine if they were actual crashes. And what I mean by that is, you know, crashes that happened when you weren't trying to crash. I've seen so many that just drive into other cars on purpose and calling that a crash. I mean, technically it is a crash, but you done it on purpose, so it's not exactly exciting to see. Just because you want to crumple the car up and just make a silly montage out of it, I mean, I just don't agree with it, I'm afraid. So you won't be seeing any of those montages on my channel, that's for sure. I mean, the beauty of an F1 car is you know, in seeing it drive well, pushing to the edge, and you know, a driver that's in complete control. If you lose it, you lose it. Go off. That's fine. That'll go in the montage. But if you're driving into someone, that's just not right. I mean, holding on like that, something like that, and like I did in Canada last year, which was also in my montage. Just holding onto the slides. I mean, that takes more skill than crashing into someone, surely. And, you know, I don't want to see a beautiful F1 car, even though these 2012 cars, they aren't exactly beautiful, especially with that nose at the front. The only beautiful one I know is the McLaren, which had the nice, sleek nose, the platypus nose, or the downward nose it had at the start of the season. All the others, that steep nose, they were ugly. But saying that, I just don't want, as I try and bash into Schumacher, he forced his way through, and Button's trying to get through as well, and that might be Hamilton. I don't even know, I think both of their McLarens are behind me, fighting for their own positions, while Schumacher just comes through and takes them all. And now Schumacher's up into second, I'm in third. I'm not going to beat my teammate, which doesn't help me. I'm not going to meet my objective, which also doesn't help. So Schumacher looks like he's going to be on the, he's going to have the upper hand in the teammate battle. So I've got no choice really now but to switch up to fuel mix to rich and go for it. Because there's only 4 laps left after this one. But anyway, as I was saying, as I was saying on my little mini rant, I don't want to see a beautiful F1 car smashed to pieces. You know, you can see that. You can see cars being smashed up at the Destruction Derby. I don't want to see that. And so that's my little rant out of the way. I don't know, I went off on a tangent there. But, oh jeez, Hamilton's gone past, so we can get around on the outside.
Put some pressure on him and try to get it back.
Just made it, just held on there. Without going wide, I might add. He's coming back again, Hamilton. Bit of a battle going on here. Just trying to keep it on.
Just ahead of you.
Almost side by side, but I get the inside line on that corner, which means he had to look back off a little bit. So I've got third place back again. See, it's definitely not easy staying in front of those McLaren boys. And Schumacher's just buggered off into the distance, now that I've had to defend. Seven times world champion. Looks like he's going to be on the podium in the first race. You never know, he might be challenging for the title this year. Stranger things have happened. I mean, if Marussia and Caterham can get up into the midfield on this game, then why not Schumacher be winning championships again? Yeah. Oh, talking of what I was on about, crashing in montages and all that, it's slightly different, but this track reminded me of it. I was playing an online race. This must have been a couple of months ago now. Everyone else dropped out, and there was two of us. One who was, well, the other guy and me. The other guy was, he started ahead, got in front, and went off, ran the track. It was only a 3-lap race, and I caught up to him. I caught up to him quite considerably and quickly. And as soon as I tried to pass him, he just bashed me off into the wall, into the barriers, and I thought, oh, that was that. But I continued and caught him up again because he was actually pretty slow. And what I did is I just waited behind him for a little while. I didn't make an attempt to pass him because I saw him going wide on a couple of corners. I thought he would make a mistake at some point. And at the corner just before you go into the pit lane on this track, yeah, around here he shoved me into the barriers. I took a lap to catch up, and I think it was on the last lap, so as I was right behind him up to this point, coming round here, I saw him go straight off over there, mess up his braking, and then I took the lead back from him and won the race. And because he was a bit butthurt, he actually quit before the race ended. But I still managed to get the win somehow, which is pretty good. I thought that was probably the best race I've had so far online. Just, you know, just to shove it in their faces and say, look, if you're gonna play like that, then you know you're gonna lose anyway, unless you can keep it on the track. Because I knew he was gonna make a mistake. I just knew it. I could see it. The way he was taking those corners, it was worse than me. So I just waited behind him, took my opportunity before he could come back onto the track, because he did try and come back onto the track and take me out again, but he was too far behind on that point and I was just running away with it. So that's why he quit, because he couldn't win. He couldn't bash me off. I mean, how pathetic is that? Pathetic is that, really? But I thought that was a really nice victory, that I could come back after him bashing me into the barriers and take the win from him without ramming him back, I might add. Because, you know, sometimes you get that bit of a rage where you want to just hit them back and put them into the wall, but I thought, no, I'm going to do it properly like I usually do, and I'm going to avoid him, going to hang back, be patient, take my moment, and it worked. So I'm quite proud about that, really. It's just that being on this track reminded me of that just now. Thought I'd share that with you guys. I'm sure many of you have seen your share of douchebags online. But yeah, Yeah, my fastest lap isn't great. I mean, it's about 2-3 seconds off theirs. It's just kind of annoying because I know I can do a 128. Especially in this, like the last lap or last couple of laps, because the fuel load is around about the same as it is in qualifying. As you can see, I'm about 2/10 up on my best lap so far, but that's still not fast enough. I mean, Schumacher's built a gap of 7.2 seconds, and he's gone up the road, so all I can do now is hang on to my third place and my podium, which is quite a respectable result, especially for a Mercedes, getting both their drivers on the podium. So, I mean, if this continues throughout the rest of the season, Mercedes might actually have a good chance of being in contention for the constructors. You never know. But Fernando has won the race, as you can see, and Schumacher is going to come in second, as he's just going around the final corner now, and I'm going around the penultimate corner. So both the Mercedes on the podium. Didn't get our win that I was hoping for, but still good, decent amount of points. So that's 18 points from Schumacher and 15 points from me. I may be disappointed because that I still haven't won, but still, never mind. Shit happens, basically. So
that's a great third place. Congratulations, 15 points.
So I expect the team's happy enough anyway. There you go, Alonso, Schumacher, Spuds, Hamilton, Massa, Maldonado, Webber, Senna, Grosjean, Kobayashi, Vettel. Button ended up down in 12th for some reason. Probably something went wrong, probably hit something, probably hit someone. Nice to see my old team Williams in the points, with Bruno Senna now occupying my seat. That's good to see. Am I going to move down the race results? I do not know, but this is taking a long time for me to do so. As you see, Vettel in 11th. I didn't quite see where Webber went. I probably already said his name. But as you can see, a Caterham made it up to 16th. Amongst the Toro Rossos, Force India 17th and down there near 20th. Yeah, Webber in 7th and Vettel in 11th. So Red Bull gonna end up being a midfield team if they're not careful.
That result moves you into third in the Drivers' Championship.
So obviously, because it's the first race this season, there's no change on the Drivers' Championship other than the race result. So Alonso, Schumacher, Spuds, Hamilton, Massa, Maldonado, Webber, Senna, Grosjean, Kobayashi, Vettel, Button, Perez, Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Petrov, and whoever else is below him, because I had done that way too quickly. The constructors, Ferrari up the top, of course, because Massa finished quite high up as well, so they've got 35 points. Mercedes on 33 points, only 2 points behind, but it's early days yet, anything can happen. McLaren, Mercedes in 3rd, Williams 4th, Red Bull 5th, Lotus 6th, Sauber, Toro Rosso, Caterham ahead of Force India, because they finished ahead of the Force Indias. of course, I mean, that's what happens. There you go, Alonso celebrating while I just walk next to my car and put my visor up. Anyway, join me next time for round 2 in Malaysia. I'll see you then.